Hello! Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second day of Down the Rabbit Hole, a DP art exhibition from Sekolah Cikal Amri. My name is Feliza Nalda, and I am your host today. Today, we will dedicate our time to have an artist and director talk. Not to forget, we also will have a film screening of short film produced by our Year 12 and Year 11 film students. Audience, buckle up because things are about to get real today. I'm going to let you know of today's agenda. First off, we have an artist talk where we will be talking to the students of visual art program. If you remember yesterday, we had a gallery tour of their artwork. After watching the gallery tour and the catalog, I am really excited to listen to the artist stories and inspiration behind their masterpiece. This talk will be moderated and led by Pa Arif, our coolest English teachers. Afterward, we will have a film screening of two short films made by our film student. So, don't forget to grab your popcorn and drink. After that, there will be a session for the director to talk about their film, hosted by Miss Rumana. We will interview them regarding their work, starting with inspiration, purpose, and many more. And yes, of course, you can get involved in these talks. If you happen to have a question about either the film or the artwork presented and later discussed, there will be a Q&A session at the end of each session. So comment your question during those times. Paarip, Miss Romana, and I will try our best to answer all of your questions. If you miss our first day sessions, you can always watch it in Sekolah Cikal official YouTube channel. And if you want to know more about Down the Rabbit Hole, come visit our Instagram page at CikalDPArts_2022. Now, that the time is already 8:45, I humbly introduce the moderator of this event. The first moderator for the exhibition is Bapak Arif Firmasya. He is known to be the literature teacher in Sekolah Cikal Amri. Without further ado, please welcome Pak Arif.
Hello, I hope everyone can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Felisa.
Hi, Pak Arif. How are you doing, Pak Arif?
I'm doing great.
Great to hear that. Okay,
Yes.
I'm so happy that you came, Pak Arif. Now that our moderator is here, let's bring our artists to the stream. We have Alia Nafila, Keisha Salsabila, my lovely Jamie Mazhabia, and Malati Afinandia. Hello, everyone. Hello, Alia. Hello, Keisha. Hello, Jamie. And hi, Malati. How are you all doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Great to hear that. Okay, so we now have everyone here. So, Parit, I believe the floor is yours now.
All right. First of all, thank you for the chance to interview this artist. And need I remind you, guys, that it reflects this student's bravery. Oh, of course, bravery. I remember a quote from Robert Fripp. He's a soundscape artist from England, also mostly known as the guitarist for King Crimson. He also creates soundscape for all the Windows startup sound. He said that um, being an artist requires a bravery because your artwork is like a child to you. You know, you have labored for more than 9 months. You know, metaphorically speaking, and then you deliver or give birth to this baby of yours, your artwork, and then at the end of the day you're handing your baby to a bunch of child abusers. So which is to say the audience and the critic. But today we are going to talk about the inspirations behind these art pieces, and also um, styles, of course, the medium, and other questions that I'm sure um, have made all of us curious, especially after looking at the exhibition. So if you're offline, I highly encourage you to come to Cikal and look at their amazing art pieces. All right. So I'm gonna ask my first question. So one questions for everyone, and then you can take turns answering these questions. So my first question is this: lots of your work, yeah, and this applies to Alia and also Keito and Melati and Jemima also. Um, Lots of your work reflect positivity, but in a negative way. So my question is this: can too much love be dangerous? So maybe Keito first. Go ahead.
Uh, I mean, personally, for me, I think the concept of love is usually like in a very positive light, right?
Mm,
It's something that's perceived as beautiful, but I think because like my concept is about obsession. It's basically anything that's overly um like. So I feel like love is something that's positive, but it also can be in a negative light if you don't take care of it properly, or for example you're falling over something too much. I feel like it could be mentally damaging for the said thing you're in love with, and also to yourself, because you also need to take care of yourself too. I think in a way it can also be um, kind of unhealthy.
mm. All right. Alia, what's your thought on this?
Yeah, I also agree. I think when it comes, yeah, to love, there's two sides to it. It's not really like a black and white situation. I think it's really a mix and depends on like the situation, right? And I think at first everyone would see love as a very positive light, as what Keito has said. But I think behind that, if it's not nurtured well or there's more going into it, of course, it can also
Mm,
trigger a lot of negative things to it. And so, yeah, I think in the end of the day, it's just how we really take care of that specific thing or someone. But yeah.
mm. I see. Jemima,
I
what's your
think
comments?
since my theme of my artwork is about toxic positivity, so I guess positivity is like something that kind of like you can say as related to like love, or like as a way for you to like loving yourself. But if you are doing it like very excessively, it will kind of like damaging you. It also can also like distracted you to like your own reality, and also it can makes yourself to become like very overwhelmed. So I guess in terms of love, I guess you need to just do it like not in an excessive way, in a way.
Mm, I see. Um, Melati, how about
Um,
you?
I think I agree with Jimmy, where I guess in the context of like self love, it can be when you do it too much, it can be kind of overwhelming. It gets to a point where it's kind of like not genuine anymore, and it ends up destroying you, and also like changing how you look at things, and kind of like distorting your reality. So I think it can be damaging
Hmm.
sometimes.
Interesting, especially that bit about excessiveness and also distorting reality, since the title of the exhibition is Down the Rabbit Hole, which reminds us of the that one scene from Alice in Wonderland, that rabbit hole. Yeah. So, which pill did you guys drink, the red one or the blue one? Well, anyway, I am going to start off the interview proper with, I think I'm going to start with Jemima. So, let's have a look at the slide. All right, let's see. Okay, so all right. So Jemima, you mentioned a little about your topic or your key issue, which is toxic uh, positivity.
Yeah.
All right. Um, okay, which piece would you want to talk about first?
I think I'm going to talk about my centerpiece first, which is the one in the middle. It is called Things They Wanted to Say But Never Did. So basically, funny story about this artwork. Basically, I create this artwork based on like a questionnaire that I share in Twitter. So on how I share this questionnaire is I create like a giveaway, and the rules on like entering the giveaway is by filling the survey. And it is really interesting because like that method really allowing me to have a lot of like response from a lot of people, a lot of audience, and it is very random, and also like I get a lot of response that is very distinguished from other response. And for like the question that I have asked in the survey itself, I asked them about like the positive phrases that people dislike, or some kind of like positive encouragement that people always say, but this person is actually doesn't want to hear it. So they kind of like so this artwork is kind of like personal for like the audience, because they really pour their thoughts and also like their opinions on like those phrases in this artwork.
Hmm, I see. And is this your first time doing collaborative artwork like this? Because I imagine this would fall under that category of collaborative work, since you invite the audience to participate in the creation of your artwork. So, um, what's the impetus, or what is the inspiration behind creating this collaborative work with the audience? Is this your first time, or have you ever done this before?
Yeah, I can say this is my first time, and it's the only participatory artwork that I did for this exhibition. And my inspiration for this artwork, I get it from an Indonesian artist called uh, Komikazer, Komikazer. So he made like a sticky note. So I went to like an exhibition, and uh,
Mhm.
they so basically this exhibition exhibited his artwork, and the concept is kind of like similar, but like from this artwork, from his artwork, it's like um, kind of like talk about how the experience that people went through in 2020, specifically on like pandemic. And then I feel like it's kind of like something that I can also like implement on my artwork, but in context of my artwork, I want it to be like related to toxic positivity. So I want people to actually participating on telling what kind of like toxic positivity phrases that they dislike into this artwork.
All right. And can you talk about the medium itself, about the choice of medium?
I choose acrylic paint because it's like the medium that I have never been trying before. So I kind of like challenge myself to actually try another medium that I have never been using before, which is
Mm.
I ended up using an acrylic paint, and it is really like something that doesn't require much time to dry. So yeah, it's kind of like very beneficial to make like this artwork using an acrylic paint.
Mm. Okay. Now, how would and then for your other pieces or your artwork as a whole, um, how would you describe your artistic style?
I think my artistic style is commonly very we can say as bright and also like contrast, because I really like to implement dark colors but using neon colors as well, as you can see from the artwork in the middle, and also like the artwork next to it. It really like use a dark color but also like being complemented by using a contrast and neon colors to make it like as if it looks like pops
Mm.
off from the canvas itself. So I guess that's my characteristic on this artwork.
Mhm. And what was the biggest challenge that you faced when you know, in the whole process of preparing for this exhibition?
I think my whole challenge is time management, because like I need to finish a lot of things as well, rather than only like focusing on this exhibition. So because like I'm a 12th grader, so there's a lot of things that I need to finish, and it is really hard to manage my time. It is really hard to actually finish all of the artwork, but at the end, I feel like I finally able to learn how to manage my time, and also it is really kind of like hard to make the arrangement,
Mhm.
because like I need to connect the other artwork and the others, because like we are really required to create like an artwork that is very like connected to each other.
Mhm. I see. And my last question is this: what is your least favorite words of encouragement?
I think it's an Indonesian phrases like "you
Mm.
bisa you," because like it's very like common but kind of like overwhelming, because like a lot of people would say that to me, but at the end it's not really like worth to like relieving my problem, so it's not really like solving, I guess.
Mm. I see. Because sometimes you just need to be left alone, yeah. um, stuff like I would raise a white flag if I feel, um, you know, drowning, something like that. All right,
Yeah.
Jamima, thank you for the session, and yeah, I really hope that everyone can see your artwork. And for those of you who are at school, please do come and enjoy the colorful palette that is apparent in Jamila's artwork. All right. Okay, now I am going to proceed with our second artist, Kaito. Hello, Kaito.
Halo, Pak.
Hello. All right. Okay. I see that in addition to those canvases on the wall, you also create some sort of participatory artwork. So let's start with that. Can you describe to the audience the participatory artwork that you prepare for this exhibition? Go ahead.
So the participating artwork that I have, which is the acrylic spears that is hanging, is named Head Insider. So the concept is basically I wanted to see like the concept of like seeking for approval or seeking for attention, because I think in a way it's like pettiness,
But I think in a way, pettiness, it's like it's not very bad. But I want to see like how would someone go, like how far could they go just to get approval? Because I think everyone, of course, seeks approval. Like I feel like every human in any time or any way they will seek approval from others, because I think that's how also how we live. We want something, we have needs like that. And I think um I wanted to see like how those type of needs can go so far, because I've seen some people go very far just to get approval or just to get some kind of pity attention. It's any kind of attention from anyone, even when it's like pity or anger, they just need attention. And I wanted to see like if some people also thought the same way. And I wanted people from like those spheres, there are also some thoughts of like a certain person, um of like wanting attention. And the reason why it's like kind of diagonal, because it's the lower it goes, the kind of darker it actually becomes, because like uh the last lower sphere is actually has actually some suicidal um implicants, I guess you could say. That it's kind of very dark. But aside from like taking, you can take the spears, the tiny spears, you can also input your own thoughts. So I wanted to see like a more broader perspective with the audience.
So, okay, what should the audience do if they want to participate in this artwork, especially for those who are at school? Go ahead.
I think as you can see in like the picture, there is a table below the spears, and that table is actually painted with the instructions, so people can read the instructions there. It's gonna tell what they should do, what. But of course, they should read the note first, and then they would contemplate like what they want. Anyone can choose which spear they want to put in, because there's also like a set of there's a box that's full of like real empty spears, and then there's also a pen and like a note in it, so people can write whatever they want. It just have to include with the theme itself. So yeah, it this the instruction itself is with the um table. Yeah.
Okay. So you also mentioned about the intention behind this artwork, but did you have a reference when constructing this installation art? I would say this is an other than participation, this is also installation art. Yeah. So what reference did you look for, or did you have when you began constructing this installation work?
The artwork itself had a lot of drafts. You could say I had a lot of other ideas, because the main base of the artwork was actually based on these things called gacha games. I wanted to make an own like my own gacha game where it's like you could twist the controller, and then it would like randomly come out like anything. But but I feel like it would be too uh common, I feel like. So I wanted to do something else. At first I also wanted to make like a big spear. I was mostly like inspired by um like bowls, and then bowls in my house, because like in like I guess like it's very convenient, I feel like. I want to make like a big spear and then just make it random at first, because I feel like randomizing it will give it more of a surprise element. But then I guess with like these ones too, I was inspired by a couple of artists, you could say. It's mostly participatory artists. Um, but yeah, I guess like the main base, my inspiration was gacha games in general.
I see. All right. Now tell me about the seven deadly sins.
So the seven deadly sins. So basically, my whole concept exhibition is actually based off the seven deadly sins. The seven deadly sins are basically just like these archetypes of like things. There's like lust, envy, pride. It's like these little things, but then they become sins because they're overly powered, or like people do these things just for the sake of it, not even for anything else, and it goes unhealthy. And that's like what I wanted to prevail in like my exhibition, where it can be unhealthy. And in my centerpiece is actually um, directly based on the seven deadly sins, and I had to go through a lot of readings and like reference a lot of artworks to make them. So,
I see. Okay, my next question is this. Oh yeah, last question. Sometimes there's a discrepancy between what we envision in our mind and the end product of our creation. Do you experience that, or do you feel, all right, this is what I had in mind when I envisioned this artwork?
I did experience it twice, I think, with like I think I already mentioned it, Head Insider. It was very different from what it is now, because I had a lot of technical difficulties that I couldn't do. But also another artwork that had a very big change is actually Narcissus. My the artwork with like two similar looking people. It was actually very different. The colors were much more brighter, and the composition with it itself was not landscape. It was portrait actually. But I saw it, and I feel like the composition felt a little blank, and it was very dreamlike. It was very it was like pastelly and like watercolor feeling, but I didn't like it that much, so I changed it to what it is now. It's much more like darker feeling, which I feel like connects with my exhibition more.
I see. All right. And okay, thank you. Kato, we'll talk more after this. I'm going to proceed with Alia. Hello, Alia.
Hi, Sarah.
Right. Okay. Of course, my first question to Alia is about the medium because of the I wouldn't say unusual, but I would say unique. So why textile-based artwork?
Right. I think from the beginning, like through this like art exhibition and the process, like going into it, I always have like this like passion in the fashion industry, and so knowing like I have that chance to finally showcase that more, I wanted to create and use textile in many different forms, and not just create a garment, but also like experiment with different like techniques and just ways, like the sun artwork, as well as my first artwork called My Untold Story, that was actually inspired by Alexander McQueen's 1999 collection. And so not only like through the mediums, I was also inspired just by a lot of different designers, from Ray Kawakubo to Alexander McQueen.
I see. And yeah, you're right. Of course, the use of this medium necessitates a different variety of technique. So let's look at the uh, the artwork in the middle, consisting of three. They look similar, but if you look closely, they are different. So can you tell us more about this artwork?
All right. So the overall like idea or like concept of for this specific one, the artwork called Sun, or Three in Mandarin, is to like showcase that unique perspective I have growing up as a triplet. I think with my all of my body of works, the one thing that all of them have in common is that it pretty much shows like my own story. And so when creating this, I wanted to use like different like textile techniques, such as like weaving or like knitting, to and like different colors as well, to like portray that like different perspective I have, as a triplet.
And what kind of aspect of experience that you want to convey in that, as because identity is we can say identity is the one core concept of your artwork. So what aspect of it that you want people to know?
I think in general, like through this like exhibition and the artworks I've like created, I wanted to not to not really inspire, but also like motivate other people to like, you know, explore and just truly self-express and, you know, find their own unique color. And so I guess like, yes, like identity, we could say is a very like broad topic to talk about. And so
Mhm.
through the, like with the use of, you know, different mediums, for me specifically, I wanted to not only share, you know, what's my identity and like how I can learn myself from this experience, but also like from other stories from the other artists that I've got inspired. Like through this exhibition, I wasn't only inspired by like painters or designers. I was also the majority of like the concept of identity in some of my artworks is really based on like Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist,
Mhm.
and his like four theories of identity. And so yeah, I just really tried to portray like different perspective on identity from like different individuals as well from me.
Mhm. Right. And I'm sure the audience is also curious about this. How long did it take to create um, the the tree artwork? Was it called? It was in Chinese. It's called
Oh,
tree
Sun,
in Chinese.
Sun, yeah.
Ah, right, right. So how long did it take to construct this, and maybe the challenge or difficulty in creating this?
I think for this specific artwork is probably one of the most like time consuming because not only did I have to learn like individual like textile technique and which most of them I haven't learned that much of. It's also a pretty big scale and it's like times three. And so it took like I would say I finished on fully finished around a month, but for like the conceptualization, that also took me quite a while to really think on what I want to like portray through this artwork. But looking from it and just like really digest from it, I realized that okay, oh, I want to talk about, you know, that perspective of being triplet, and that took for like a week because it I think
Mm.
yeah, it goes back to like my story, right? And so it was pretty easy to come up with the idea.
Mhm. Um, was was a sewing machine involved?
Oh, not for this specific artwork, but in some,
Mhm.
yes.
All right. Okay. All right. So, uh, which artwork did involve sewing machine?
Oh, of course, like the first one, my untold story,
Uh-huh.
the garment, and
Ah, the
also,
garment.
yeah, my last artwork, in the my last artwork, the one that's on the left, called venturing to reimagine, sorry, and it's another like a collage of different fabric into one.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Alia. There was last question. I'm gonna proceed to Melati. Hello, Melati. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right. Okay. Let's start with your center piece artwork. Go ahead. Can you tell us about your um,
um,
yeah.
I think now my centerpiece artwork was the first one on the
Mhm.
right, but after I finished all the artworks for the exhibition, I think the centerpiece is um the one on the very left, the one on the iMac. It's an animation of
Mhm.
a stove. It's called Broken Lighter, and it's actually very, very heavily influenced by my own personal life because at home I have a gas oven and a broken lighter, so that's how you turn it on. Um, with like a wooden chopstick, and you have to light it on fire, and you have to light the oven on manually. But
Mhm.
um, the artwork is basically like a very simplified analogy of the entire theme of my exhibition, which is like mental exhaustion and being burnt out. And um, I think you can take that in like a literal sense, where the chopstick is like literally, or at least the wooden stick is like literally burnt, and you're forcing it to light on fire. And I think that's a really good way to describe the feeling of being burnt out. It's like you're forcing to work with something that doesn't already work. And yeah, after a long time, you kind of just like disintegrate.
Right, right. Yeah, because fire needs three things, right? It needs fuel, it needs oxygen, and it needs heat, of course. All right, and it just sort of consumes you, right? Um, Now, time is something that I think we can see as a major element in your artwork, not only the centerpiece but also in other artwork. There's the time element in the animation, and now, how about the clocks there? Can you tell us about that artwork and the inspiration behind it?
Okay, so that artwork is called Reminiscence, and the main like artwork is the clock in like the frame, the black frame, with the little baby shoe on top. That's something also from my
Mm,
personal like life, where that clock used to be in my house, and that shoe was mine from when I was a kid, and then the other one from the pair is like lost. So we keep it on top of the clock for no reason. Um, but
mm,
the artwork represents kind of like looking in the past, or I guess like in your youth when, you
mm,
know, you weren't burnt out or you weren't very stressed and there wasn't a lot of pressure put on you because you were young and um, carefree. And yeah, it basically symbolizes like looking in the past and reminiscing on
mm.
times where, you know, you kind of feel better
Oh,
about life.
yes. Although you have to be careful of the golden age fallacy, the notion that the past is better than the present. But well, it's hard to judge, especially during the past 2 years. All right, and actually, the last question is a shared question that you guys should answer, and I've received this question a lot from students. So for students who are considering taking VA, the IBDP VA, what is your advice for students who are considering taking IBDP VA? Melati.
I think my honest advice is like really think if you um need it, because it's very demanding and it does take up a lot of your time. So if you really like think that, oh, I think VA is going to be beneficial for me and like my future, then go ahead, but I really suggest to like brace yourself because it's going to be quite challenging.
Mhm. I see. Jamima?
I think from me, I guess just be prepared because it's such a roller coaster ride, and I guess if you really want to take PA, make sure that you really need it, especially like for your uni because it's kind of like really help to make like an analysis
Mm,
and to make to observe like the art itself. But if you don't really need it, I guess just don't take it. I guess because like it's kind of like demanding, just like what Melati said.
mhm,
But it kind of like worth it at the end as
mm.
well.
All right. Kaito?
I think I agree with what Jemima and Mati said, but also if you are actually taking VA, you should really know what you're doing. You should kind of like already know, like I want to do this, because yeah, again, it's very demanding, especially like if you're in HL, kind of you kind of have to do
Mm,
like 3 art forms. So
mm,
that's like a must for the exhibition. Um, yeah, you should really know what your concept you want to do, and then you should kind of have like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this like for each artwork. So
mm.
yeah, this you just really know what you want to do. Do you need it? It's like you have to question a lot for VA.
All right. And last but not least, Alia?
Yeah, I guess the same thing what everyone has said, and also that going into VA, I feel like we should know that it is not all just about creating artworks. I think it really goes more in depth in that, and we do a lot of analyzing, and we also learn a lot other than creating like artworks. And I think in the end of the day, I think especially during this time, the pandemic, I think we just have to be very like patient and also like persevere all of the things that's going into us, because it's gonna be a lot. But yeah.
All right. All right, students, especially those who are considering taking VA, that was the advice from these artists, your seniors, and I hope that will not deter you from taking up the challenge of, IBDP VA. So thank you, Alia, Keito, Melati, and Jemima for this lovely talk this morning. And I do hope that everyone can come and look at the artwork directly. It's in the North Building. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Arif, Alia, Keisha, Jamie, and Malati for the amazing talk about your artwork. Your story are definitely inspiring, but unfortunately, that is it for the Artist Talk sessions of today. We would like to thank Arif for having moderated this talk. Now, we're going to move on to the next sessions, which is the film screening. We have a total of 2 films varying in genre. And the first film will be Warisan Pak Pak by Year 12 students. Audience, let's enjoy the film together.
Udah rolling?
Yuk.
Ya, terima kasih Pak reporter dari studio. Seperti yang bisa dilihat para pemirsa, sekarang saya sedang di luar rumah di mana Pak, penyanyi populer zaman 80-an sedang tinggal. Tapi jangan salah, ini bukan rumahnya. Ikuti saya pada hari ini untuk mewawancarai dan bertanyakan masa lalunya yang buatnya berakhir sebagai seorang tukang kebun.
Kat, cek mic-nya dong. Kayaknya ada yang salah deh.
Panas banget anjir. Awas aja kalau kita udah jauh-jauh, terus rekamannya dibuang kayak pesaktu itu.
Ya, wajar sih. Kita kan newbie satu work. Ya, ada trial terus banyak error lah pasti.
Tuh bilangnya gitu terus. Udah berapa kali rekaman kita dibuang? 4 kali, 5 kali. Untung gak gua marahin itu reporter di studio yang bisa duduk manis di bawah AC.
Ya, namanya juga kerja.
Ini sih, Pak. Pak? Lo manggilnya siapa? Pagi, Kak.
Pagi yang mau wawancara ya?
Iya. Sebelumnya makasih kita udah boleh ngilas cerita Bapak.
Iya.
Kita bisa duduk di mana ya?
Boleh lewat sini.
Ini kayaknya bagus, Pak. Lightingnya nggak apa-apa kan ya?
Iya.
Jadi, Pak, nanti ngomongnya natural aja. Karena bakal diedit, jadi kalau ada yang mau dipotong bilang aja ya, Pak.
Iya, boleh.
Oke, udah siap?
Iya.
Sekarang saya bersama Pak, seorang penyanyi yang kehilangan kepopulerannya dan sekarang berubah profesi menjadi seorang tukang kebun. Pagi, Pak.
Pagi.
Jadi, Pak, bisa cerita sedikit tentang masa lalu Bapak sebagai seorang artis?
Ya sebenarnya dari dulu orang tua saya nggak pernah dukung saya di dunia entertainment. Makanya sekalinya saya sudah sukses, jadi saya agak sombong gitu ya. Seperti berhasil menunjukkan kalau mereka yang salah dan saya yang benar gitu. Tapi ya sekarang bisa dilihat lah, saya sebenarnya suka jadi penyanyi, cuman kurang dukungan masyarakat aja sih. Cuman nggak penting sih mereka sosial.
Pak, ini anakmu ikut tangan lagi. Ini apaan? Orang berita lagi.
Iya Bu, tapi jangan marah dulu.
Udah aku bilang beberapa kali jangan nerima wawancara mulu. Ingat gak? Reporter yang kesini akhirnya ngejelek-jelekin kita juga nggak pernah masuk TV. Mereka bohong Pak, jangan percaya sama orang kota. Tenang dulu Bu, kita beneran reporter kok. Ibu siapa ya? Bu. Udahlah, ini ngurusin anakmu dulu. Kalau wawancara nanti aja.
Kamu kenapa tawuran lagi? Kamu atau mereka yang mulai?
Aku yang mulai.
Gimana?
Aku yang mulai. Mereka bilang selangkanganku buri.
Mas, Bapak tahu kamu marah. Tapi kita harus sabar.
Sabar. Bapak kenapa nggak bilang anak-anak lain itu nggak baik? Nggak adil. Jahat. Kenapa orang-orang kayak kita yang harus sabar?
Padahal cobaan kita lebih banyak.
Ya udah, nanti kita omongin lagi ya. Bapak harus selesai wawancara dulu. Kamu nggak apa-apa kan? Itu ada obat di kamar Bapak.
Menteri Sosial berinisial TT tergugat pidana untuk menjalani hukuman 6 bulan di penjara untuk tindakan korupsi atas tindakan korupsi dari Kementerian Sosial mengakibatkan kerugian 5,7 triliun dari bantuan sosial yang... Selamat datang kembali ke insert para pemirsa. Untuk merayakan Hari Valentine, artis sinetron Fikri Johannes Adolfo menghadiahkan pacarnya seekor dugong.
Tahu nggak sih? Gue denger si Fikri itu nyogokin bea cukai tahu, ngirim langsung dari Afrika. Romantis banget. Romantis pala lu. Hah? Menteri yang ngirim sama nyembunyiin uang hasil korupsi lewat bea cukai juga romantis buat lo.
Itu Mas berantem sama siapa sih? Ngeliat nggak tadi?
Oh lihat, tadi ibu yang ngomongin tawurannya. Sama aja anak SMA. Ngeliat ibu pakai sendal nggak usah takut. Anaknya Om itu, Pak, yang kemarin.
Ya udah, ntar minta maaf besok.
Tapi si Mas bener loh. Kenapa nggak anaknya Om itu aja yang minta maaf?
Ya udahlah Bu, kita harus sabar.
Ya sudahlah. Habis lihat ibunya di pasar tiap hari, males tau. Udah dompetnya tebel, ngomongnya panjang lebar, tinggi lagi. Kalian berdua, kalau ini nggak bakal ditayangin, mendingan pergi aja. Banyak kok penyanyi gagal yang lain, kenapa nggak mereka aja? Dan untuk para pemerintah, apa sih susahnya nurunin harga minyak?
Udah Bu, udah. Bantuin Mas sana. Maaf ya, kalian harus lihat itu. Anak saya namanya Mas. Dia sebenarnya orang baik kok. Dan istri saya, Bu, dia juga lagi stres. Ya, jadi si Om itu juga mirip dengan saya. Dia juga artis lagi suksesnya. Tapi dia tuh artis sinetron. Kita udah nggak ketemu sih. Beda sih dia waktu zaman SMA. Karena siapa sih yang nggak sama di SMA-nya. Untuk istrinya saya nggak terlalu kenal, tapi kayaknya si ibu kenal. Katanya sih dompetnya tebel, sama kalau ke pasar tuh kayak mau masuk TV. Mereka nggak mentingin harga minyak sih, mereka malah ngeluh kalau nggak dibeliin dugong waktu Valentine. Ya, saya udah beberapa kali mau coba minta maaf sih ke si Om. Tapi di keluarga mereka, anaknya kayak nggak pernah diajarin minta maaf. Ya, biarinlah. Dia juga pasti anak baik. Saya juga pernah dulu merasain kalau orang lain itu salah dan saya itu yang benar. Udah, kita pasti harus ngulang recordingnya kan, sama wawancaranya. Mau makan atau minum dulu nggak? Pengalaman saya sih orang kayak kalian sukanya es teh manis.
Boleh Pak, mungkin sebelum rekaman kita kenalan dulu ya.
Bisa, boleh.
Kayaknya masih nyala tuh.
Wow. Wow. First of all, I am speechless. I mean, how could you guys be so creative? I am madly in love with this film and the fact it has a positive moral behind it. And the storyline, it's just out of the box. And the way they end the film, it's so creative. Bless my eyes for that. And now let's move on to the second film, which is Time by Year 11 students.
Need to submit their final assignment or there will be no score. noticed.
So, what are you doing, Mom?
As your parents, I'm here to fully support you. But you can't be getting scores that are concerning like this, Jack.
I'm trying. That score wasn't even that bad. The whole class.
Well, don't join them. Listen, hon. Back when I was your age, this, and this, I did every method that I could be. This.
The flashlight is right over there. You can just take it.
You seem a bit down.
Oh no, I'm doing fantastic.
You can talk to me, you know. You don't really talk to mom and dad that much.
I don't really care.
Have you been trying? Anyway, come. I got something to show you.
Ooh. Yep, that is indeed a used cardboard box that we used for our mom's birthday party.
To a certain extent, yeah, but look.
Oh wow, a used cardboard box with a weird looking symbol in it. Do you want me to throw it away or something?
You don't know, but this is actually a time machine.
Right. What do you want? What do you want?
I've read your stuff. Don't you think you need this?
Give it like that.
Struggling with time, huh? What if you can control it?
Don't ever take my stuff again. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, this game is not even that hard.
Yes, have you gotten done with your finals English assignment yet?
Oh, the video essay? Yeah, days ago. Why'd you ask? Anyway, which events did you do?
Yeah, guys, I gotta go. Oh, please bring me back in time when this had never happened.
Whoa!
Hey,
calm.
Who are you? Who are you?
I'm you.
You're Me?
I'm you from the future. Listen,
You're me from the future.
I'm just here to tell you that you need to.
I look so bad.
I'm you, but only probably 6 days older. And anyway, you got to hear me out. I need your help. I need you to do the English final assignment.
The English final assignment. That is due like a week from now. Why I gotta do that now? It's not even that hard. You just do a bit of research.
It's a video essay. Have you even researched about it? The martial law?
No, why should I?
You idiot, Jack.
Okay, I think this introduction is fine. I think. What time is it? I'm supposed to be playing R6 with Bob. What are you talking about? I'm talking about how I know what you're talking about. We gotta work on this. Yeah, but we can always do it tomorrow.
Hey, you okay?
You're me, and I just don't know how to go about it. I'm just stressed. So stressed.
I mean, I'm you. I can lend an ear.
I don't know. It's just that seeing you, it's like I have so many that I got to improve, and it's. How am I so inattentive, annoying, and absent minded? I mean, I cannot blame you. You're me. I am you. I know you've been trying, but I'm just seeing so many flaws. I guess being a smug procrastinator isn't as cool as I thought. I just don't think that I've tried enough. Like, I've been refusing to walk up the stairs. Scared the view's going to change.
I guess we have a lot that we need to fix. Let's go inside.
Serious mode?
Yeah, serious mode.
Alright, we're done.
Yep.
And there's more to come. At which I trust us to do. One step at a time. Is it goodbye then?
I guess so.
Do you need me to accompany you to that silly looking cardboard box?
No, just destroy it afterwards.
I got you.
Wow, that is so fantastic. I love that he used variety of technique and point of view. And that film actually really motivated me into becoming a better person, especially that now procrastinating already became one of my habits. And this film actually reminds me of Brendan Treen's quotes, which is, "Don't become lazy about the only life you have." Wow. I just pleased my eyes with marvelous movie from Cikal students. And now, having watched the films, I am super curious to see who's behind this film. And that brings us to the next segment. We have the director talk. Now, let's invite our moderator, Miss Rumana, to the screen.
Hi,
Hi, Miss Rumana. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Felisa.
Okay, so Miss Rumana, after watching the films, what do you think about their work?
Oh, well, of course, I like it because they're my students. No, just kidding. I think they really put good efforts into the work, so the efforts has become into a fruition. And as you can see, we all have watched it. They have been using elements and stuff that we've been teaching them in the film class along with Miss Tantri, which unfortunately is not going to be able to be with us today. So yeah, probably we should talk about the process with the directors and the filmmakers themselves next.
Okay, I totally agree with you. Right. Now that we have all the director and the moderator, I would like to pass the stage to you all.
Okay. Sip. Thank you, Felisa. Oke, guys. Siapa yang mau mulai duluan nih? Mungkin kita... Zaki jangan deg-degan dong, Zak. Ini ditonton banyak orang loh, Zak. Santai aja, Zak. You did a very good job. Anyway, sorry, aku di sini moderatorin. Tuh, Miss Santri tuh. Ini ya, Miss Santri of course hadir dong. Nah, oke, kita sekarang ngebahas sedikit tentang prosesnya ya. Apa namanya, penciptaan kalian dan semua yang kalian lalui untuk membuat karya film tersebut. Mungkin dari Alia, mungkin bisa diceritain awalnya dapat ide ceritanya itu dari mana? Karena Alia juga kan yang menulis.
I think at the start, I forgot when it was, but it was way before we started the process of this movie. We were talking about like individual film ideas, and I remembered saying that, oh, I wanted to make some kind of like mockumentary, and I think Mariska said he wanted to do something with kind of like a Ghibli movie style, and someone also mentioned that they wanted to have a focus on food. So at the start, it was actually called Warung Papa. We'll get to that later. And it was about this owner of a warung that's very popular, but is also kind of like failing in his business. And it also talks about similar themes that is talked about in Warisan Papa. But then because of COVID restrictions and because we had limited time, we changed it to Warisan Papa. But I think it still had very similar themes and is also able to convey what we were trying to say in the first place with our first draft.
Oke. Iya, karena ada sedikit perubahan ya, kita mesti kita ceritain dikit. Because at first you wanted to shoot it in warung kan, aku inget, terus akhirnya berubah. But thank goodness it's all work. Yeah, thank you Miss Keke. Oh my God, I love this tuh guys. Nah, gimana kalau proses kerjanya sendiri? Gimana Alia bekerja dengan sinematografernya? Kan di sini Keisha kan ya. Lalu correct me if I'm wrong here. Mariska sebagai DOP. Mantap juga bisa naikin komen. Nonton director DOP-nya Keisha. Sorry. Produsernya Alia di sini dan penulis. Gimana kalian menyamakan visi dan misi kalian bersama-sama? Kan soalnya kalian masing-masing, Mariska sebagai director punya visi, Alia sebagai penulis juga, Keisha Bell juga sebagai DOP-nya. Gimana tuh proses kalian? Wah, ini posternya aku baru lihat. Wah, seperti mengingatkanku pada sebuah poster. Keren. This is really cool, guys. Oke, boleh diceritain gimana proses kerjasamanya? Mungkin dari Mariska dulu sebagai sutradara.
Okay, hello. Jadi, I think our way of approaching this film itu udah di-establish dari awal. Karena kita udah tahu the genre yang kita mau go for, which is like this satire, comedy, mockumentary. You know, I feel like we have established that common ground and, you know, this film class between each other. And we've been doing this style for the previous work juga kan. So yeah, I think we've already established this kind of connection towards the filmmaking. And then we always try to put like social themes and social issues, like underlying themes in our movies, right? And so we kind of want to do this kind of approach again in Warisan Papa. And yeah, I think from that we can develop the characteristics, and then the role of each characters. How are they important to the story? How are they relevant? And then we just have to find out what's our visual style is. How are we gonna like come about this style, the certain typography, the cinematography, the colors, and other technical aspect. But at the end of the day, we've kind of just like had to come to one agreement, and it resulted in this particular movie, Warisan Papa.
Ada specific style atau director atau misalnya kamera movement yang kamu emang pengen highlight atau misalnya kepikiran nggak sih, Mar, pas bikin ini?
Ya, I think dari awal sih kita emang pengen nyoba untuk do this like semi-documentary style, right? Jadi ada one person that's thank you Miss Dita. Thank you Miss Dita. Kita pakai satu kamera in the movie there's like the cameraman, right? And then tapi in the shooting process itself, there's Keisha who's controlling the camera, she's the DOP, right? The cinematographer.
Betul.
And yeah, we want to make this approach of like there are two cameras, which is the camera that are used by the cameraman that has a certain aspect ratio, that has 4:3. It's kind of like a square, which indicates the cameraman is holding it, which is played by Felix, great actor. And then the other one is the full aspect ratio, which indicates the not realistic approach, and it indicates like it's not Felix that are holding it, so we want to make it like realistic and unrealistic, and it's kind of meant to be that way. And I think that's the most like stylistic approach with cameras that we implemented in this movie.
Good, great. How about the cinematographer then? Trying to translate this into camera movement, Kay. How do you do this?
In terms of like how we work together collaboratively, initially we started by finding like which films would inspire us in terms of like the visual style. And as Mar said earlier, it was like indicated earlier on that the writer wanted this to be a mockumentary, right? And there's this Indonesian film that recently came out. It's called Aum, and the style is like a mockumentary. Yeah. So I guess like visually, when we were drafting, what kind of visual aspects did you want to implement in this? We took inspiration from that film.
Yeah.
And then like we had to confirm with the set as well, which thank you to Naja and her family that provided us with their home for the set. Like the house in itself, it's a very beautiful house, and it looks a lot like the house that was in Parasite. So we also decided to take some visual inspiration from that film in terms of like, because the shooting process was all done within a day. I guess we kind of underestimated it, but it was done within like a span of 6 hours. So we had to use a lot of natural lighting, right, Miss? Because unfortunately, at the time we were left with the equipment was only a camera and a mic, so we didn't have lighting equipment because we planned on using natural lighting. So a lot of the colors that we used were also natural, and I guess it was also implemented within like the editing phase with Alia. We discussed a lot about the coloring and like what undertones we could use so that the lighting like in the props kayak nggak terlalu ngejreng gitu-gitu and etc. But mainly we took a lot of inspiration from those movies that I mentioned earlier, and we've already discussed that between each other. each other, so we established it like collaboratively beforehand.
Okay, wow. Very good. As you can all see, ini semua timnya everything is taken into consideration ya, dari writing, directing dan cinematographer. And anything else to say? Aku udah diingetin time nih. Dari Alia mungkin sebagai editor dan produser, anything you want to add about this project?
I
Ada yang banyak komentar tentang castingnya nih. Bagus nih castingnya spot on tadi Miss Dita bilang. Maybe you want to talk about that a little bit before we move on to Zaki. Al?
The cast, I think it was really like a team effort because at the start, I think we originally wanted to like cast a real bapak-bapak to play Pa, but that was pretty hard to do. So we had to make do with what we had, and of course, our friends and very talented unpaid actors did very well in the film. And yeah, I do think we kind of had an idea, and thankfully, our friends helped us to, bring that idea to life in this movie.
Okay. Great. Ya aku juga lihat soalnya kan kita juga tahu ya dalam prosesnya kan aku juga sempat kayak berpikir gitu, oh how about the casting? And thank goodness it's all worked out well. Jadi tepuk tangan sekali lagi buat kalian. Teman-teman yang di rumah juga boleh tepuk tangannya, rame-ramein.
Miss Actors-nya semuanya keren-keren. Kita berterima kasih banyak sama semua yang terlibat dan udah ngambil waktunya untuk.
Ya, dan ingat ya, semuanya yang terlibat di situ, you can use it as your portfolio. Jadi ini sangat amat berguna. I wish we had more time to talk about this, karena banyak banget sebenarnya yang bisa kita bahas dari perpindahan lokasi kalian, itu tuh sebenarnya tuh ada hal yang perlu dibahas dari shifting those two gitu. Cuman ya, mungkin nanti lain waktu kita bahas lagi. But yes, you should be proud to what you did here, dan you can use it as this portfolio, really. Great. Okay, now kita move on to Zaki. Oke, Zaki. Yang lain boleh stay ya di sini aja nggak apa-apa. Kan soalnya kan kita semua kakak-kakaknya juga ngebantuin dalam proses Zaki nih. Jadi mungkin bisa ikutan diskusi juga. Oke. Time. Is it ever too late? Gila loh, ada tagline-nya loh.
Iya.
Keren banget, Zak, keren banget ini. Ini keren banget. Keren banget. Alright. Let's start. What's your idea behind the story?
Well, my idea behind the story is that this film is created long before this whole exhibition or even creating the film in the first place even started. So I created the story. Even I think it was just an exercise as to create just characters and also story spine and storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't thinking about many things necessarily, which I kind of regret that I don't include many like cultural context or whatever. It's just a silly story that I created in the middle of the night. And so that's the origin of the story. And also because this is also to, I guess, not necessarily because my first film, at least in film class, the theme is more of a psychological horror of it. It's like the cat's nightmare. It's not public. I don't think it will be public anytime soon. It's maybe. Tapi it is a psychological horror based on German expressionism and stuff. But during the second chance I get to create a story, I say, okay, hey, why not make a bit of sci-fi in it? And sci-fi. The first thing I think of is time travel, and so from there I begin to see okay, what's interesting about time travel, and so because I guess we're talking about I guess, characters. Um, Miss Romana said, the characters try to base it on what you understand about character. So I base it on myself, and what I think about myself is I'm a huge procrastinator. Even in this project, I procrastinate, which is bad and not really good. But yeah, I just think of this interesting story where what if a procrastinator have power to control time, I guess. So yeah, that's the story. That's how the story originated from. Is that even the question?
Ya, 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 nggak apa-apa. Nggak, I mean, like, it's okay, you pass the question. Dan aku, ya bener Zak, the story, walaupun kamu punya niat atau punya bayangan pakai apa namanya, ini jadi fictions, cuman something about the story, it feels so personal to you. So that's good. So it's based on something that is true gitu. So it's always good to write what you know, ya kan? Terus kalau misalnya dari Zaki kan mengajak Kak Mareska ya untuk membantu sebagai DOP. Ini gimana nih kira-kira bekerja sama kalian, proses kerja sama kalian? How do you synchronize the vision dan menyamakan visinya? Gimana Mar? Ini udah ketawa. Kok udah ketawa Mar? Coba diceritain.
Yes. Okay, so actually, the shooting process of this movie.
Okay,
Man,
tell me about it. Tell us about it.
where do we start, Zach? Okay,
I don't
so
know.
okay, I guess I'll
Anywhere.
start. Yeah, I'll start by like, okay, pre-production, right? Pre-production and pre-production, we need to send like references. Like every time I talk about movies with my peers, I always put like references of movies that I wanna reference and the movie we're gonna make, right? Because like, yeah, I always thought of like, oh, maybe we should do something like this movie or this movie, right? And
Apa
then,
this movie dan movie tolong disebut dong. Kita pengen
okay,
tahu inspirasinya apa aja.
okay. Untuk Zaki movie, for time, there's gonna be a time travel scene, right? Where he's gonna use a cardboard box,
Yeah.
and the first thing that pops into my head was, Miss, do you know the SpongeBob episode where he went into a card box and it was like an imagination box?
Aduh, maaf saya kurang reference SpongeBob. Tapi
Okay.
mungkin teman-teman lain di rumah tahu dan
Mungkin
kayak
yang lain tahu
coding sekarang. Oh, iya.
ya imagination box yang ada
Oh,
pelangi
Pak,
itu.
aku tahu. Terus.
Yeah, itu abis itu kayak, and then I reference like the movie like Zatura and like a bunch of like time travel movies, right? Like About Time,
Nggak ada yang nyebut ini ya, Back to the Future ya
Back to the
ampun.
Future.
Tua
Mungkin itu
banget,
terlalu kayak
oke banget.
mainstream gitu ya, Miss, buat kayak reference. Jadi kayak kita mau yang lebih kayak art house gitu mungkin kayak.
Oke, baik, Mar. Terus.
Habis itu, yeah, and then okay, pre-production selesai, the shooting, right? Okay, Zak, kita mulai sebelum kita syuting kita ada proses namanya recce, where the crew
Yes.
went to the shooting set and we just kind of like analyze the set and see like if the shots were right, is gonna be right, and then thank you, Myla. And then yeah, and then when as we were about to test shoot, I pulled out my camera because since I'm the DOP, I'm gonna use my camera, right? And when I opened the lens, the glass shattered.
Oh my God, this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, my lens was broken the day before the actual shooting, right? So we were like, how are we gonna solve this problem? And then thankfully we have Keisha here that lent us her camera lens. Thank you so much, Keisha. Shout out to Keisha.
The lifesaver. Need to
Lifesaver.
mention that.
Zaki. Kemudian, ya Zaki berutang budi sama lo, okay? Thank you so much. And then, okay.
Nggak apa-apa, traktir aja, Zak. Terus.
Yeah, Zak, gue traktir Zaki, Keisha nanti. Yeah. And then after that, okay, we're done, right? Like first day Reki, then the next day the shooting. Okay, and then the shooting happened. We started. Initially, we were planning to start at 12 or 1, but we actually started at 3. Right? We started at 3 in the afternoon, and then shooting, and then like I have like previous experience in shooting films, and in my head, like I already know like it's unrealistic for a film to be over from the shooting process, and I don't know, like maybe like only 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind, the only crew is only me and Zaki on set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ya Keisha sama Alia nggak bisa datang waktu itu, tapi they eventually helped out in the post production and like in other aspects. So thank you guys. Yeah, but on the shooting process, it's only us, me and Zaki, that are the crew, right? I'm the DOP, and Zaki is the director, also the actor, also the writer and editor, right? And then so yeah, and um, eventually we finished the shooting process at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh, benar. Waktu itu, okay.
yeah,
Wow.
like yeah. While we were shooting, I took a picture of me and Zaki while still shooting, and I sent it to me and Miss Romana and Miss Tantri's group at like 2 in the morning, right? So yeah, that's the evidence. But yeah, it was one hell of a shooting process. It was really fun though.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. I enjoyed the shooting process. It was a lot of like impromptu shoots, but it's still pretty fun. How about you, Zaki? What's your take on the shooting process?
Yeah, coba Za.
For me, the shooting process was a bit frustrating, but also pretty fun. So,
Kenapa tuh
what made
frustrating, Zak?
because I have all this oh yeah, I don't know, it's just I played it it's much quicker, but there's many technical difficulties. We need to charge our I guess charge camera like I guess 2 times in the whole shooting process. There's also a problem with lights pas itu. And yeah, it's just a whole of bunch of technical difficulties. It's just it's not, I don't plan it as it's being complicated, but it's still pretty fun. Comment has got oh my he's
Of
oh
course.
god.
Of
Tapi
course,
ya.
dan ya emang gitu ya, kadang-kadang kalau
Hmm.
misalnya syuting ada aja yang um, tidak bisa dipredik. But great, kalian mampu dan sukses untuk menyelesaikan semua ini. Ini nggak ada sesi tanya jawab ya? Seru, oke. Seru sih kalau misalnya ada sesi tanya jawab nih dari para pendengar nih kan. Boleh nih apa Miss Zulfa? Boleh ada sesi tanya jawab. Tapi nggak ada yang nanya. Ada. Aku yakin ada yang nanya. Coba kita kasih waktu. Ini mungkin ada teman-teman yang lain soalnya pengen tahu, atau misalnya adik-adik kelas yang pengen tahu proses film dan mungkin tertarik untuk masuk film. Ini saatnya kalian nanya-nanya gimana prosesnya dan lain sebagainya. Karena ya lihat kakak-kakaknya di sini banyak banget belajar dan eksplorasi hal di sini yang nggak pernah dilakukan dapat di subjek lain cie gitu. Zaki ganteng, nah lo siapa tuh? Cakep promo. Baik. Oke, nggak ada yang nanya ya. What was your favorite part? Oke, siapa tuh yang mau jawab? Miss Dita nanya, what was your favorite part of making these films? Coba mungkin dari Zaki dulu, dari filmnya Zaki. Kakak-kakaknya kan juga bantuin kan di filmnya Zaki, jadi please do if you have some thoughts.
Is this during
Siapapun.
the production atau kayak pre-production? Atau kan?
Semuanya. Pre,
Semuanya.
pro, post.
My least favorite was the post one. It's pretty stressful. Tapi kalau for my favorite part, I think it's the shooting with itu, Mariska, and also where we are seeing the set. Because um, we weren't plan on actually just seeing the set beforehand. We were planning on to actually just shoot it right there and then, which in hindsight it was not a very it's fatal kalau if we do it like that. Which I'm sorry, but I'm glad that I'm glad that we didn't decide to shoot it at the planned time because we get to scout the area and see what can we do with it. And yeah, it was good. It was it. I don't know, that's
Oke.
my favorite part. My favorite part is the
Baik.
shooting part.
Nggak apa-apa,
Every
nggak
part is my
apa-apa.
favorite.
Nggak apa-apa. Nggak apa-apa. Alia, Keisha, ada lagi favorit part di film kalian? Paling favorit di mana?
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Silakan.
Would it be wrong to say I loved every part of it? That's so cheesy. But yeah, as the writer, actor, and also editor, I feel like I was very involved in the pre-production, the production, and also the post-production. And even though there are times where I feel just like frustrated and I just wanted to be done with it, now seeing it done and seeing like everyone's reactions to it, it was very satisfying. It was very, it made me really happy. Also, the shooting process, even though we had a lot of troubles and uh, I had a lot of fun because it was with my friends, and also the pre-production when I was writing, also seeing everyone's reactions and getting ideas from Keshabel and Mariska too was also really fun. So yeah.
That's good. That's good. Itu paling ya, itu bener banget kayak ada saat dimana kayak aduh udah deh. But it's that thing kalau kamu push through it, it's something that you're gonna miss gitu. Keisha gimana Keisha?
Untuk aku kayak definitely the shooting. Karena itu kita di saat itu bukan cuma syuting doang. Pasti we had like because it was raining actually at the time. There were so many troubles but like setiap kali ada permasalahan pasti kita ketawain aja. And then jadi kayak yeah, it ended up being fun and also like post production waktu brainstorming karena memang tema film ini kan satirical comedy gitu kan. Jadi di saat brainstormingnya jadi kita kayak ngelawak and it was like really fun throughout that process, I think.
Good. It's good that you find the balance between the proper work and find the humor in it. Oke, pertanyaan. If you were given another chance, what would you do better? Dari Wijaya J. Oke, siapa yang mau jawab? Anyone? Ayo guys, ditungguin nih. If you had another chance, what would you do better?
Kayaknya personally itu the first time that I acted as cinematographer, right? Kayak beforehand in the previous year, my role was as director, so it was mainly like managing the intricate details and like the cast, and then like approving of the shots rather than just like holding the camera. So I can say there's definitely a lot that I would like to improve in my role personally, especially considering how we underestimated the shooting time as well. So I like to say that one of the imperfections was like the lighting changes to banyak banget throughout the filming, which must have been difficult for the editor to recolor, which is why yeah, so I can say that that's definitely a very pivotal part that should be improved as
That's
like
really
as
interesting.
cinematographer.
It's part of your reflection process juga ya, Kay?
Yeah.
Sebenarnya kamu menemukan hal-hal itu. Oke, sepertinya kita sudah harus undur diri nih karena Zaki akan ujian. Good luck Zaki. Good job guys. Proud of you. Tadi ada yang bilang. Oke, thanks a lot guys for your film that we have the chance to watch it. Oke, silakan aku oper ke Melisa. Felisa. Thank you.
Wow, splendid. What amazing talk. I would like to thank Alia, Ataya, Mariska, and Keisha Bell for taking your time to share the great process behind their film. And also a special thanks to Miss Humana for having been our moderator for this talk. Many thanks, everyone. And if you want to rewatch the film or perhaps you missed the screening, you can find the link to the film in the description box below. And finally, we have reached at the end of Down Rabbit Hole. This past 2 days have been a surreal experience, a moment of pure art. However, you can always experience the whole 2 day event by watching the recorded live streams on Sekolah Cikal official YouTube channel, including the gallery tour, music performance, film screening, as well as the musicians, artists, and director talk. And a constant reminder for you all, don't forget to check out the full exhibition on our Instagram page at @chicaldparts_2022. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. And finally, if you have any feedback regarding the entire exhibition Down the Rabbit Hole, there is a Google form in the description box below, which leads to an evaluation form. Please fill it in with your valuable opinions to better your experience the next time you attend the Cikal DP Arts exhibitions. And honestly, that is all that we have to say on behalf of the comedy artist, director, and teacher. Thank you so much for all of the support you have given us this past 2 days. You, as the audience, are what make this event. I would also like to apologize for any mistake that made the DP Art exhibition experience unpleasant, whether it is something was said, technical difficulty, and etc. Once again, thank you so much, and we will see you next year at another Cikal DP Art exhibitions. I am Felizana Nalda and signing off. Bye bye. Have a great day, everyone.